Hello everybody, Beetle Dave, your friendly neighbourhood record collector, calling to you from Derby in the UK. Apologies for yesterday. I did a video on a couple of records that I got, and I did it on my phone, and when I was recording it did actually look okay, but then afterwards when I watched it on the TV downstairs it looked absolutely crap. So this is like a follow-up video, so I can go into a bit more detail of the records that I featured yesterday. If you did manage to watch the one yesterday, thank you very much. But you know, even if you watched it, please watch this one as well, because you're going to actually see the records now, not all be pixelated as it was yesterday. I don't know what went off. I don't know if it was the internet round here or what. We do have a very big Rolls-Royce factory near us who do the aero engines, and I think sometimes when they're testing the engines it can affect the internet as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this one will turn out okay, as they say. So if you don't know the story, it was just a few albums that I'd got. A couple of them was off my work colleague Simon. Very kindly gave me a couple of albums, and then there was one from a Beatles connection, because it was basically a Wings album in all but name. I have actually played all these now as well, so I can give you a quick review of them as well. So the first one was this, a original UK copy of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. This was given to me by, like I say, a friend at work called Simon. It's an original UK stereo pressing on the yellow and black Parlophone label, which all the ones I've got, I think I have actually got one. I thought I didn't have one, but I have actually got one original stereo. Got a couple of the stereo ones on like the one box and then the two box EMI, things like that. Cover's not in absolutely brilliant condition. It's not bad, it's just split there where it would be, because basically this is as old as me. You do get all the words and everything on the back. Unfortunately, we don't get the psychedelic full sleeve, and we don't get the cutouts, but I have got a spare cutout in some of my spare records over there. If you're saying why have you got spares, I've always got spares. The actual gatefold is actually quite nice, although it has got Sgt. Pepper's sticker there for some reason. It's got a name there and a name there, and it has got the flip back sleeve. So all in all, it's not too bad a condition. Yes, it's not mint. I did have to clean it on my Project Record cleaning machine the other day, and like I say, in one way I'm glad that video yesterday wasn't very good, because I have actually played this and I was a bit like that, because it says it's got a lot of marks on it, which it had. Now somebody yesterday goes, Dave, you get all these records and you're always like moaning that they've got scratches on them. I'm not moaning. It's sometimes if I go like that, you can't see them. I'm just being honest. When I say scratches, they're not deep scratches. They're more like hairline marks. And I think a lot of them are actually done when they used to be in the paper sleeves. It's like I said yesterday, if you're cleaning your records, make sure you've got some new anti-static or polylined inner sleeves to put them back into. Don't clean your record and then put it straight back into the original paper sleeve, because all it will do is, if there's dirt in that, it'll go straight back onto your record. Right, so it's the Gramophone Kotex, and you've also got sold in the UK, subject to resale price conditions. PCS 7027, and it is a YEX 637/1 for side one, so it is an original first UK pressing. Side 2 is XEX 738/1. Nice labels. Right, yesterday, after doing the crappy video that I think I'm going to have to take off, I did play this, and I was actually quite amazed at how good it sounded. I was expecting it to be snap, crackle and pop in it, or surface noise, or whatever you want to call it. To be honest, it sounded amazing. It sounded a hell of a lot better than I was expecting it to. So all in all, I'm very, very happy to have this. And for saying it didn't cost me anything, because somebody gave it me, you know, I'm more than happy. and you know, like I say, on my equipment, which if you don't know, my everyday record deck is an old Sony direct drive deck connected to a Denon amp, and it comes out of Denon speakers. Not a very expensive one, but not a cheap setup. You know, it's a decentish setup, and it's fitted with a Audio Technica cartridge. So yeah, brilliant. Very pleased to have this. Like I say, it played absolutely fantastic. It's flat as a pancake as well. No skips, no jumps, no background noise. Just a little bit of hiss at the start of the record and a little bit of hiss at the end of the record, which you'd expect. But you do get the Sergeant Pepper, they call it the inner groove thing, where they go ha 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 ha, ha on it as well. So that's one that's really good. The other one that Simon gave me was the Session Man, which, as it says, it's basically Beatles songs sort of like done for a orchestra. Hard Day's Night, Help, When I'm 64, Baby or Rich Man, which is absolutely fantastic. Yesterday, Strawberry Fields Forever, which is very good on here as well. She's Leaving Home and She Loves You. Side 2 is Yellow Submarine, All You Need Is Love, Ticket to Ride, Michelle, Norwegian Wood, Eleanor Rigby, Nowhere Man and Can't Buy Me Love. And this is on World Records, which was eventually taken over by EMI, I think. It's stereo and it's T758. Flip back sleeves. Gerald and Lofthouse's Limited patent pending sleeve, actually. I don't know if you see that. Again, I've cleaned this, I've played it. Put into brand new anti-static inner sleeves. It's quite a nice label though, to be honest. Very unusual label. Side 1. Side 2. Not necessarily a must for a Beatles fan, but I think it's quite amusing or fascinating in some ways to see how other genres interpret Beatles songs, or their versions of Beatles songs, how they do them to their sort of music. Don't think it's worth a hell of a lot of money. Very nice though. It's a very nice sounding album. It's one of those where if you've had a bit of a crap day at work, if you put this on and have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a whiskey or a can of beer or something, you know, it'll probably put a smile on your face by the time you've finished listening to it. This other one, by the way, the Sergeant Pepper one, is just in a standard Gerald and Lofthouse sleeve. It's just the right one. It does say PCS and it does say stereo recording. It's just a shame about the spine, really. I mean, the rest of it is pretty much intact, isn't it? And like I say, it sounds amazing. I was really surprised at how good this sounds. But you know, it's like I've said before, you can go and buy second-hand records. Just excuse me 1 second. I've got very dry throat today. Cheers everybody, by the way. You know, you can buy a second-hand record and it can look scratched to hell or it's dirty and things like that. If you've got a decent way of cleaning them, which I have, 9 times out of 10 you will have a decent record at the end of it. Obviously, if it's got a really deep scratch on it, my machine can't take scratches out. It can just clean it, and it does a deep clean and everything. So I'm quite lucky to have it. The next one that was featured on the video yesterday was this one, My Gear. Which, to be fair, is basically a Wings album in all but name. My Gear, or Mike McGear, is actually Paul McCartney's brother. His real name was Michael McCartney, and he was in a band in his own right called The Scaffold. Their big hit was Lily the Pink. We'll drink a drink to Lily the Pink, the Pink, the Pink. And they also did Thank You Very Much for the AGI and Thank You Very Much, Thank You Very, Very, Very Much. They was famous in the very right sort of thing. This is from 1974, and if you look there, you can see Paul. He produced and co-wrote most of the songs on this, and the rest of Wings actually play on it as well. The songs are Sea Breeze, written by Brian Ferry. What Do We Really Know? That's written by Paul McCartney. Norton, that's McCartney McGear. Leave It, that's written by Paul McCartney. Have You Got Problems, McCartney McGear. Side 2 is The Casket by McCartney McGuff. Now McGuff is Roger McGuff, who was actually also in The Scaffold. Then you've got Rainbow Lady, McCartney McGear. Simply Love You, McCartney McGear. Giving Grease a Ride, McCartney McGear. And The Man Who Found God on the Moon, McCartney McGear. Recorded at Strawberry Studios, Stockport. Produced by Paul McCartney. And then it says Linda McCartney, Moog and harmony vocals. Denny Lane, guitar and harmony vocals. Jimmy McCulloch, lead guitar. Jerry Conway, drums. Brian Jones, saxophone. I presume that's the Brian Jones who was in the Undertakers. Can't be Brian Jones from the Rolling Stones, can it? Because he passed away by this time. Now, after listening to this, because when I actually did the video yesterday and actually listened to this, it does actually sound more like a Paul McCartney album, because he's doing the harmonies and stuff as well, and his brother does actually sound a lot like Paul McCartney anyway on some of the songs. So yeah, I think you could really class this as a Wings album, but with Mike McGear as the lead vocalist and like Wings as the backing band. It is a good. It's a very, very nice listen. Most of these songs would have fitted easily onto an album between basically Band on the Run and Venus and Mars. In fact, some of these would have fitted onto Venus and Mars quite easy. Bit of sticker damage there, bit of sticker residue there, and there's something there where something's been tried to be rubbed off. It is a gatefold. And then the inner gatefold is Mike McGear sat on the banks of the River Mersey with Liverpool behind him. This is supposed to be like a take on Gulliver's Travels, isn't it? If you've ever read the book or seen the film. Like I say, lovely sounding album. I was actually quite surprised at how good it was. Yes, it probably would have been, in my opinion, better being released as a Paul McCartney or a Paul McCartney and Mike McGear album. Probably would have sold more then as well. Nothing wrong with it. I can't fault it. You can tell the songs that Paul's wrote mainly by himself though, because they just sound like a Paul McCartney song. But that being said, it is what it is. These usually go for around £30–35 on internet selling sites, i.e. eBay and things like that. I didn't pay nowhere near that. I think they wanted £10 or £12, something like that, and I just put in a bid for £7.50 and I got it. But like I say, when it did come, the inner sleeve was absolutely crap, and it was really, really dirty, so I have had to give it a deep clean. You do get the lyric sheet with it. And It's on Warner Brothers, by the way. So again, in a new anti-static sleeve. It still does look a little bit dusty, but I have played it. It's really, really nice sounding record. So that is side 1. And that is side 2. Great cracking little album, to be fair. If you ever see it out on your travels and it's not very expensive, treat yourself and buy it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, like what I was. Like I say, it's basically an unreleased Wings album, or an uncredited Wings album, shall we say. Like I say, brilliant. Not bad for £7.50. I think it came to about £9 with the postage and packaging, or £10, something like that. So yeah, great little album. Very underrated. I think it's so expensive on certain internet sites because when that was released, it didn't sell, or it didn't sell as much what they thought it would, because obviously with Paul McCartney they thought they'd probably have a #1 album, and it didn't. And if somebody says it, the great myth was it sold all of 12 copies. I think it sold a few more than that, but it wasn't as successful as what the record company was probably hoping for. And that's going to be it. So I hope that you've actually been able to actually see the records now on this one. Again, apologies for the one yesterday. Don't know what went wrong. I don't know if it was my phone or the internet, but I did try and do it live, but on my phone, so that might be it as well, where I've had to like do this through my phone, and then I will download it onto YouTube. Just a few little like shout outs. Thank you to everybody that's subscribing. We've actually got to 530 subscribers now, so thank you very much. Remember, you lot are the beating Beetle Dave. Without you, this channel wouldn't exist. If you've just seen this video and you're not subscribed, please just think about subscribing, because it is free. It doesn't cost you anything, and obviously hit that notifications button as well. And if you like the video, just leave me a thumbs up, whether you're subscribed or not, because that helps me with my YouTube and algorithms, or whatever you bloody call them, and helps promote the channel. And obviously the more people will get interested in the channel, the more things I can do. I've got lots and lots of plans for things to do with this channel, but I've got to get a few more subscribers before I can really do it. One of the things that I want to do is probably buy a decent either laptop or camera, just to use for nothing else, but just to use for YouTube, and then I can do more live streams, and hopefully one day I want to like hook up with a few people, so we've got 2 or 3 of us on the screen having discussions and things like that. But for that to happen, I've got to have a decent laptop, and at the minute my laptop's not reliable enough to do it, I'll be honest with you. As you can tell, I don't take myself that serious. It is just an old bloke sharing some of his records, some of his new finds, not necessarily new records, but new finds with you, and that's about it. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you to everybody that's subscribing, obviously everybody that's leaving me likes, everybody that's leaving me comments. I don't always get time, I think what to say then, to answer your comments, but I do read every comment, and I do mean that. I do actually read every comment, and I will always leave you either a thumbs up or a heart, just so that you know that I have actually read it, because there's nothing more than you taking your time to leave a comment to somebody you never hear anything off them. Yes, you might not hear anything off me, but you will at least get a thumbs up, so that I've acknowledged that I've read it. And that's about it for today. Whatever you're doing, please stay safe, and if you're out and about record shopping over the weekend, I wish you luck, and I hope you find lots and lots of little things. We were supposed to be going record shopping today, but we've had to stay in, so I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do it now before I'm back at work. So but now I'm just mumbling on. So once again, thank you to everybody that's watched this video and stayed to the end. I love you all, Sorry about the video today. Hope this one's come out a lot better, but this one will probably get less views than the other one though. That's a daft thing. So until the next time, it's Beetle Dave wishing you all peace, love and happiness. And remember, Beetle Dave loves you.